What's up, everyone? Welcome to another edition of Tarun's Thoughts. My name's Tarun Shetty. This is my kitchen. I'm in my kitchen today. Thought I would mix it up a bit. Sometimes I like to live on the edge. But hey, I got a message this past week. I got 2 messages. Appreciate both of you. One of them said, you've gotten funnier because you don't seem like you give a fuck anymore about anything. That's what it said. Another one was off. I made this video about working at UTA on YouTube, and it's gotten like a crazy number of hits, and I say what it is, right? So I get like 20 messages a week off that from these people who want to break in to the business. And I can't meet with you, obviously, because I'm just too busy. But there's a thing about not caring anymore and about like reaching a breaking point, which any artist watching this, I hope you take something away from it, because look, at some point in the game, if you call it a game, you're not going to care anymore what people think about you, because you realize that there's too many firewalls and there's too many parameters, there's too many people to placate, and it's impossible. And you just stop caring. And I'm going to give you some examples real quick. I make a lot of content, and the reason why I do it is I have no shame. Like, sometimes I'll just sit in the dark on my couch and just be like, all right, this is what it is. Like, I'm not always happy. In fact, I'm mostly not happy. I don't want to say not happy, but I'm not like in euphoria. Like, it's okay to just let things be as it is. And that's okay. Like, I don't have to be this person, right? But what's important to me is when I do make stuff, when I do speak on camera, like, I'm authentically who I am, because nothing drives me more crazy than talking to someone and there's like a veneer on them, and you're like, who am I even speaking to? I'm talking like an avatar that you created. I try to be real, whatever that takes, and I feel like creatively, that's gonna help you. I went to a comedy show, and a friend of mine was like, hey, I really wanna, get the respect of, my peers. And I was like, dude, who gives a shit what your peers think about you? Like, stand-up comics in general, I mean, I love comedians. I'm always using them, but generally they don't care. Like, we're all self-centered, including myself. So I was like, just do it for your own journey. Do it for your own development, and then the respect will come if it comes. And if they don't respect you, who cares? As long as you're not stealing material and being a hack, like nobody really cares. Also, creatively, like, there was a time like whenever I used to like make stuff or shoot stuff, I'd ask my friends' opinions, like, hey, what do you think about this? And everyone will, for some reason, everyone loves telling you why you should not make stuff. You're not a good filmmaker, this idea's been done before, you're gonna run into this problem, you're gonna run into that problem. Like, anything you do in life, there's gonna be a problem. Like, if you go to the grocery store, you might not find parking. Like, that's a problem, but that's part of life, and that's part of the creative journey. You have to fight through it. You have to kind of just deal with it, and that's how you get to the end point. There was a producer named Laura Ziskin. She produced Spider-Man, and I was messaging her for a bit, and she has this quote which I have on my wall, and it says, films are forced into existence. I almost met with her, but then I kept bugging her for like months for like a coffee, and she died of cancer, which sucks. Rest in peace, Laura Ziskin. But I love that quote. Films are forced into existence, because I feel like everything we do in life, you have to kind of just force it sometimes. I get there's like fluidity, you gotta like go with the flow of it, like a Tao thing, but at the same time, you kind of have to fight a little bit, like upstream, and it's never gonna change, especially creatively. And I feel like our own internal walls can compress us. There's a great George Carlin video, which I recommend everybody should watch. It's called The Importance of Not Giving a Shit. And George Carlin, he's just talking about how like he was coming up in the 60s and 70s, and he was like a Jack Benny comedian, back in the day, like everybody wore like a suit and tie, and he was like, this wasn't me. So he like grew out his hair, started talking about the stuff he wanted to talk about, and he became like a cultural icon. Another example is Steve Martin. I've been watching, I won like this masterclass thing, so I've been taking this masterclass with Steve Martin, and he talks about how we created this act with like no punchlines, and it went against everything about the zeitgeist of the 70s, but he blew up because that's what was needed, and he just followed his own trail, and I think he didn't care what anybody thought about him. You know, like I get embarrassed all the time. I'm like, dude, should I be making this dumb character, Bobby Khan, or should I be, this idea even good? I mean, part of me is like, well, I'll let the people decide. Like, if they don't like it, they won't click on it, or they'll just turn it off. Like, I don't have to like self-judge myself before I actually make it. And I feel like that's a big deal. Like, whatever we make, whatever we want to do, again, we're our own worst enemies. Lastly, there's a quote, Mark Maron, which I absolutely love, and I'm paraphrasing here. He goes, it takes 25 years to become like an overnight success and or a complete failure, and you don't know until the night before. And I always think about that. I'm like, well, maybe I just never made it, quote unquote, in comedy, but if that's what it is, then might as well just have fun, right? Might as well just go down swinging and just drown in the waves and just keep putting out whatever I want to do. And I think that fuels me creatively, because guess what? The other option is I'm just going to sit on my couch for the rest of my life and just think about what other things would I want to do. Think about that today. Scorched earth as you melt on your couch. Have a great week. Take care.